Fire Service Warrior. Getting into another mindfulness post here. And what we're going to talk about is kind of the building blocks of getting ourselves prepared to thrive on the fire ground. And the way I like to envision this is that we're building a pyramid here. Now we've all seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs and fire officer classes, things like that. We build up from base levels to higher skill sets. Well, in order to be able to thrive on the fire ground, the first and most important thing that we need to establish is our mission. What is the mission of our agency? How do we view our responsibility to our neighbors and the public that we serve? Once we establish that mission, we can begin to craft a corporate culture, a way that we are going to go about preparing to execute our mission. At Fire Service Warrior, we call that our ethos statement. And what defining that ethos does is help each and every one of us know what the expectations are. What you expect of me, what I expect of you, what our bosses expect from those down below, and what we on the bottom expect from those of our leaders. Pure and simple. What is our culture? What are our expectations? Clearly defined so that we're all measured to the same standards. Then we start to actually be getting into the individual preparation piece. I think we have to start with the physical, because ultimately there are a lot of roles on the fire ground where I am going to be in direct contact with an officer or a leader who is responsible for decision making. But each and every one of us has to be able to perform physically. Firefighters are dying every day from heart attacks, on duty or off duty. The reality is this is a physically demanding job. Incidents of heart attacks, incidents of cancer, incidents of injury related to our job are taking our brothers and sisters away from us every single day. It's only through physical preparation that we can minimize these risks and try to move forward. Once we have the physical in place, then we can work on those fundamental job skills. How good am I at using my SCBA? How proficient am I in leading out? How proficient am I in throwing that ladder by myself to effect a rescue from the second floor? I have to master my fundamental skills, because ultimately, whether or not I can execute on the fire ground is always going to come back to my knowledge and understanding of my skills. We have to start with the basics, right? We start in Recruit Academy, baby steps, donning your SCBA over the head. Then we move into emergency procedures. We move into putting people into low visibility environments and making them execute their emergency procedures. We shut their air off and make them reestablish their air supply. Why? Because each of those building blocks teaches them to be more competent, more confident, and more capable on the fire ground. And then finally at the top of the pyramid is the pure mental component. This is where things like mental rehearsal, visualization, the ability to execute good decision-making skills on the fire ground come into play. So take a look at yourself, take a look at where you're at in your career, take a look at what you're doing each and every day to prepare to thrive on the fire ground, and use this pyramid as a checklist. Do you know your mission? Do you know and are you prepared to execute your ethos, your department's ethos? Do you have the physical tools necessary? Do you have the fundamental fire ground skills? And finally, are you putting the time into thinking about preparing for the fire ground? Preparing for the unknown and the unknowable. Preparing for the difficult and challenging. That's how you're going to prepare to thrive on the fire ground. Have a good week. Cheers.